So today we're going to be looking at histograms and how they can help you expose your images properly. This first example here is an outdoor scene which has a lot of light values in it. If we kind of just mouse around the scene, we can see that underneath this little bridge here there's some darker values. Obviously with the sky in the shot there's some brighter values which are going to be in our highlight region, and then we have areas of color that fall in between that, which we would call midtones. So all across the scene you have these values all over the image. So how does a histogram represent these values? Well, if we take a look in Photoshop here, we have a histogram open already, and it measures these values from left to right, with the left side representing these shadow values and the right side representing your highlights. And then everything in between is going to gradually fall into midtones, which are going to be your saturated regions of your image. So in an image like this, which has a lot of different values, we can kind of figure out where the majority of them lie by looking at the actual height of the histogram. The height of the histogram is measuring how many little pixels in the image actually fall at a given light value. For instance, we have a pretty high peak over on the right hand side of the histogram, which is not completely white. It's not 100% blown out. If it was, it would be smashed up against the right hand side, which is something we're going to look at in a later example. But it is pretty tall, so and pretty far to the right, so we're going to see that it is representing some pretty bright light values. And as I said before, we have a lot of sky. The river here is partially frozen, so there's a lot of icy looking cover on here. There's some snow going on down here, so we would expect to see values like that. But as I mentioned before, it's not smashed up against the right hand side, so it's not completely blown out and the detail isn't lost, which is a good thing. And then if we note on the left hand side, there are some darker values here, which also are not completely smashed up against the left hand side. So these values also are going to be retaining some detail, which could be in areas like this tree line here that gradually kind of goes into color, perhaps the edge of where the water goes over this little break here, so on and so forth. So you can kind of get an idea of where it's representing the values according to the height and also according to where its placement is on that scale from left to right. So we would call this image a fairly dynamic image. Has a lot of light values going from left to right on the histogram. It also has a lot of detail because it is not smashed up to the right or the left of the histogram, and all the little tiny details here in the wall and underneath the bridge and even in the water and the snow are still maintained. So let's take a look at an example that does actually lose some detail in the shadow region. So very different looking histogram here, right? Not really a whole lot going on in the highlights over here. We've got a little bit of action, which is probably going to be related to this little hot spot looking area on the microphone, perhaps the singer's skin tones here, and down in this area. So you can start to get an idea just by looking at the histogram how much you're going to have in your highlights versus your shadows and your midtones. Here we can obviously see there's a lot being represented in the shadow region. If we look at the image, it was a dark stage being lit by stage lights, so of course there's going to be heavy shadow areas. Makes a lot of sense. Now if we look at our midtones, we do have some light kind of falling off into the midtones, so the skin tones here, the shirt, those kinds of things are still represented. So is this a properly exposed image? Well, for the conditions that we shot it in, I would say yes. You actually can see that the image has a lot of shadow area, and if we look at the image being a live performance shot, that would be expected. So there are conditions in which your histogram may be very far to the left or very far to the right, and your image could still be properly exposed. So you kind of have to analyze the histogram according to the kind of shot that you were attempting to take. In our final example here, we have one more histogram which features a whole range of light from shadows going into highlight, but we also have this range here that's kind of smushed up against the right hand side. And that's going to mean that we have some highlights that are blown out. But as I mentioned in the last image, if we kind of look at the scene, that is a naturally occurring phenomenon where you have light going directly into the camera. So the leaves are obviously not going to be as bright as the sun. So we want those to be well exposed and to have this nice saturation, and it's actually kind of a cool effect with the light coming through the leaf. However, we would expect the sun to be blown out in this image. And this is all kind of done to taste too, so you may try a couple different exposures when you actually take the image. And then obviously when you get it into post, you have a little bit of room to play with where you can bring these values back from shadow or highlight into midtones, or you could purposely push them into shadows or highlights. The histogram is more or less a guide that we can look at to figure out how much damage we're doing to the image in terms of losing detail, or if we're trying to recover detail. So you will find a histogram here in Photoshop. Most digital cameras also have histograms. So if you're having a really hard time seeing your screen in bright light, you would consider either taking an image and reviewing your histogram, or you may find that you can view the histogram in a live view setting on the back of your screen to get a more accurate idea of the exposure. So that is my brief introduction to histograms. Go out, shoot in the situation that you're in, and figure out what's going to work for you. Bring it into the edit and kind of season to your taste. So this is Ryan Haggerty, and thank you for watching.